All right, so we wanted to make a recap video. I often do this after my language challenges. So my name is Ruben.
I'm Tory.
And I forgot to mention in the first video that we did, now about a month ago, that we are related.
Yeah, we're siblings.
Yes, we are. So first, tell me, what do you think? Do you think did you meet your goal? Did you succeed at this challenge?
I don't think I met the goal in the way that I wanted to, but I do realize that my goal was a bit ambitious. It was a 2-week challenge, and to be honest, I wasn't as dedicated to it as I thought that I might be with all my free time.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't make it there, but I made it pretty close.
But I think, I mean, from hearing you, watching your video, you made some progress. You seem to feel like confident with what you wanted to say. You had some things that you wanted to be able to say, and you can say those things now. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, there's just that feeling of like you wanted to say more in the video, but you're like, I can't confidently say this sentence, so I think I'm gonna omit that. But and that's where I felt that I didn't achieve. But, and overall, I think I made a good strides for just the 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I learned a ton. But it's frustrating for me to watch the video because I see just how slow it is, how I have to think my way through every sentence. There's still nothing that's automatic, nothing I can't just string it together, except for the most basic things.
So what did you find hardest in terms of speaking Korean?
Absolutely, it's there's so many different ways to say everything. And part of that is that there is the honorifics, that you can say things just very plainly. There's informal but polite, formal but polite. There's humble, and then all these different things. And looking online, you look up so how do you say this? And you get
all sources will give you different answers.
Every source will give you a different answer. And spelling also. There's not a good. Maybe there is, but Japanese is much more regular, much more consistent in how they Romanize their writing system, and Chinese pinyin is absolutely regular. That's an actual system. So there's no mystery there. But man, sometimes I would see the same Korean word 2 or 3 times and not recognize that it was the same word, just spelled in different ways.
Oh, yeah, I haven't noticed that.
The mo is sometimes bo, or
oh, right. Oh, well, because it can change forms.
Yeah, well, but nugu sometimes pronounced like dugu, and so, or 감사합니다 is actually a b sound in there. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Yeah, it's spelled that way. But no one says it like that.
Right, but sometimes it's written like that.
Yeah, right.
So for me, another frustrating thing was this book. I was excited about this book. No, not good. This is absolutely not Mastering Conversational Korean for Beginners. It is probably a good reference book.
It's a good grammar book.
A good grammar book, a good reference for people.
For people who already know Korean.
If you have already been studying Korean.
If you already know some basic Korean.
I would say if you're an English speaker who has some history with Korean, and you're like, I feel like I could use some pointers. I'm still confused about a few points. It's probably good. I can point out a couple of things. In chapter 9, they tell you how to say hello. Yeah. So you're supposed to struggle through 8 chapters of lists of grammar and tables and this and that to get to where you can finally say hello.
So it's not for raw Korean speakers. People who've never, seen Korean, learn to read it. It's not that kind of book. You don't just start there. This is for really after you know how to read, a couple of words, you kind of get the sentence structure, and this is you just kind of reference a few things.
Yeah. My name is Hal. Introducing yourself is in chapter 13. So you're having conversations with people without introducing yourself?
So we realized this about 6 days into our 2-week challenge. Yeah. So that was a bummer.
Yeah, so that's a problem that I've come up across before, where also I did study reading, but I'm still really slow at reading, so that, you have to read slowly before you can read quickly. But so then I kind of changed tactics and just try to get as much input as I could. So I started using Link more, reading as much and listening to as much basic stuff as I could get my hands on and then Pimsleur, I did just a bunch of different Pimsleur lessons just to get some words. Then going back to the book, actually, maybe not the first couple chapters, but a few of the chapters that I did, I had some words in my mind already. Then it made some sense.
Yeah.
But from a straight beginner, terrible. What you had another book.
Yeah.
What was the other book called?
I don't remember the title. I don't have it with me right now. It's something like Practical Korean for Beginners.
Practical.
I got it at Barnes and
phrases.
Noble.
I think it's by Tuttle, the publisher, which is the same publisher as this. But
it was really helpful.
Yeah.
And if we can find the book, we'll post it.
That's a good idea.
On
in
the
the
video.
comments. And then, yeah, like right now, we will interact ourselves with a little
bubble
flashing.
right here.
Yeah, exactly. Or superimpose a face of, my face.
Okay.
That's weird. This book, also an illustrated guide to Korean, is more along the same lines. This would, of course, be better if you could hear the words too, but it does have the Korean, the English, the Hangul, and then the romanization also. You just need to hear a lot of words and
Pimsleur was helpful for hearing and learning, like from step one, and then being able to add on piece by piece.
Right.
That was really helpful for me, because I didn't really use books a ton. I used mostly Pimsleur, and then I had I used actually the grammar book for a lot of figuring out how to put sentences together, because I kind of had some working vocabulary already.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's what I did, but I didn't utilize as many resources as you did. You used Link.
I just kind of grabbed from wherever I can. We also met with a Korean girl whose name is Eunice, a high school student.
Very helpful.
Really helpful, and that was, that's kind of what I was craving, was someone to just like
tell you how to say something.
Yeah, how do you say this? How do you say that?
Well, apparently, like, one of the things I never knew was that Hangul is not used in Korea, or at least Eunice didn't think so. That Hangul, the alphabet that we call as the Korean alphabet, but it's Hangulgi Goljaga is it means Korean letters, or literally, not really literally, but letters of Korean.
But they write the same. I mean, it's not a different writing system. It's just the name of it?
The name of it. She said to not use it. I had a whole sentence written up that said something along the lines of, I like Hangul.
And she changed it.
She said, yeah, no, that doesn't. She's like, what is that? And I had to show her. I'm like, this is Hangul. How do you not know?
Right, so she just calls it Korean letters.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's really correct or not, but I mean, she's Korean, so I kind of take her word for it.
She can't be wrong. Yeah, the first week of our challenge, I was really busy teaching a class, so I was totally unable to study as much as I wanted. Every day I'm like, I gotta go study, and I couldn't until the second week. And even then I was trying to get in touch with Koreans to talk to, and I still haven't spoken very much with Koreans. But that's kind of the next step for me, is to meet up with some people,
kind of the step.
And just kind of talk with them, ask them questions, and kind of keep listening and stuff like that. So, do you have any future plans?
No, just that I'll probably, every so often flip through the book, and I don't know, it's fun. It's a fun language to learn, but I don't really have any serious plans for it right now, because, I'm not a linguist, or that's not my hobby, and I don't have any use for it right now in my life. So, but it's really fun. So, if I happen to have some time, I feel interested, sure, why not?
Yeah. Well, when we go to Korean food, we'll say
maybe. I'm a little too shy for that.
Oh, yeah,
I will talk to people though, like if I know them.
Yeah.
I'll talk to a Korean.
But they get so excited. You say one thing, and they're really, really excited.
Very encouraging.
Which is really cool. Yeah, you say like, 안녕히가세요, and they're like, 계세요. 안녕히계세요.
Like, oh, very good. You speak Korean.
They get so excited. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
All he says is like one word.
Yeah. Japanese people are like that too. You
it's
say,
great.
Konnichiwa, and they're like,
it's what you need it's what you need as a language learner. You need that like extra feedback, extra encouragement.
Yeah.
So Ruben, tell me about some of the strategies that you used that were really helpful.
As I said in the beginning, I had trouble just hearing what was on paper, meaning sort of connecting what the words look like and what they sound like. It is unlike many other languages that I've studied where it sounds and looks almost the same. That is, the writing is very close to what it sounds like, as opposed to English, which is very different. I think Korean is pretty different. Meaning if you never saw the word, it would be hard for you to guess how it's written. So that's something I spent a lot of time on. I would try to write what I heard. And that inevitably, even though, yeah, it doesn't sound like that, but it helps me to get to know the word better. And because Korean words will change in different contexts, you know how they have like the silent letter that you kind of cut off, and then sometimes it appears again when it's joined with another word. I can't think of any examples, but you'll hear sounds kind of pop up out of a word that were silent before. And that really helps a lot with that. So, can you explain the D95 technique?
Yeah, I think so. The D95 technique is, did you invent this one? So this is actually a cool opportunity for me to test out some of the things that Ruben here has been using in his classrooms and with in his own language learning. So D95 is where you want to try to get 95% accuracy in the sentence you're trying to learn, or maybe it could be words. Just
usually the text.
Over
the whole text, you want to get 95% of those words correct.
So now you should explain this part from here, because you can do this with PowerPoint, but you can also, can you do it in other forms?
Yeah, well, the easiest way is just if you have a textbook that has audio CDs, something, then you just read the conversation, play the audio, and then close the book, turn off and then play the audio again, write it out, and then look back again at the conversation to see the written conversation to see how well you did. Usually you're surprised. You think you know it, and then as soon as you close the book, you're like, oh, I don't know what word that was. I don't know what the end of one word and the beginning of the other one.
But after like 3 rounds of doing that, it's like you know it. And it really does work, because you don't want to move on. You don't want to like write out the sentence, the translation for all the whole section of text until you know it 100%. And you'll find out, like, you think you know it, and then you, like you said, you think you know it, and then you try writing it, and then you make some mistakes, so you go back and you check. But then after, you know, a couple rounds of that, you've got that down. So that really really helped.
So what I did is I took a YouTube video that had some really like high value phrases like 무슨 뜻이에요, or like 질문했어요. And or 천천히 말해주세요. And those are so useful, but again, I wanted to be able to read it and know what those words are. So I made a little PowerPoint where I could read it and hear it, and then could only hear it on the next slide, and I had to write it out and then check.
So there's a lot of prep work that goes into it, but it does pay off, especially if you have someone else doing it for you.
For free.
So another benefit of the D95 is that even though you're basically memorizing sentences, it does help you later on when you're trying to deconstruct new sentences or create new sentences, because you get to apply. You start seeing patterns. You start going, oh, okay, so that makes sense, because this sentence that I already know uses this kind of word, or uses this rule, or some kind of connecting piece that helps you later on. And so that was surprising to me that there was that side benefit of D95.
And that goes back to this concept of comprehensible input, that when you understand what's being said, then you're gaining those words. And if you don't understand, say 2 or 3 words in one sentence, then that sentence doesn't really do you that much good, right? Because you might recognize little pieces here and there. Well, like it ends with yo.
Right.
But that's not going to help you.
Yeah, and you'd want to use D95, I think, with basic sentence frames, sentences that you could mix and match. You can take out some words and put in some other words, like I like Korean, I like blank. And so when you get that down, then you can use that sentence again and again.
Right. Yeah. Good. So do you have any other language plans? Is there anything else that you want to study in other languages?
I do. Right now, it's been like 15 years going. I want to work on my Spanish. So, so my goals right now for this summer is to understand past and future tense.
Mm-hmm. And I can help you with that.
Yeah.
I get paid to teach Spanish, actually. Yeah, for me, Korean's interesting enough, and I feel like I've gotten enough of a head start to keep going. So I actually do want to keep studying it. I'm going to Japan tomorrow, so of course I get to work on my Japanese too. But I will continue with Korean, and I don't have any other languages on the horizon. I think the next possible other language would be ASL. But other than that, I don't have any other desires. Korean was kind of like the last good possibility. So, what was the benefit of doing just 2 weeks?
So doing the 2-week challenge was good because I was able to put this to the test. Something that you've been doing for a long time and are now able to see if it works on just anybody. And
it really works.
It really works. But it's great because you have more motivation because it's just 2 weeks, and even though there are many days where I didn't want to do Korean, and it was only about an hour or two that I'd really give, to be honest, Ruben.
That's okay. You confess.
I'd only give about 1 or 2 hours a day in Korean. And there's sometimes it would be like nighttime and I'd be thinking, gosh, I haven't done Korean yet. I need to do it. And so I'd stay up a little bit later just to get it done, to check it off the list.
Yeah.
But because I was willing to do that because it's only 2 weeks. It's not like an indefinite language learning challenge. And so I just knew, okay, a couple more days of this and then I'm done. And I'm glad I did that because I was able to mostly meet my goals and see how well this thing works. But now that I'm done, it's like I have no motivation whatsoever to learn Korean. So that's even further proof that the 2-week challenge really does help you with getting over the hump of starting a new language.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cool.
Yeah, I think
thanks for watching this video, and thanks for watching our other videos, and hopefully this will help you to navigate the streams of Korean life exploration.
Okay. 안녕.
안녕.